This episode is sponsored by Supreme of the UK. Click the link in the description and support the broadcast.
CFR Network, CFR Sports. Good day, good night, all. I'm very much across the pond at the moment. I have a legend. I'm calling you a legend, sir. I'm calling you a legend. I'm a consummate athlete, mixed martial arts, Muay Thai, kickboxing, hailing from Australia. Australia, lads. Hey, I have the one and only Danny Mini T Williams. Welcome to the broadcast, sir. How art thou?
I am great, Noble. Thanks for having me on, and good morning to you, I should say. It's the evening here in Perth, and just enjoyed a very hot day today, and it's good to be indoors right now.
As we discussed offline, I think I would like roles to be reversed of sorts, because we've got it's dry today, and I will at least say it is bright, but 3 degrees is a little low. It's a little low, but we will move on upwards and forwards.
Yeah, it reminds me of the clip I seen a while ago with like Ozzy Osbourne saying about, he's like, in the UK the weather's shit. That's why our music's just hard and heavy, and it just made sense.
Definitely.
That's why we're angry. We're angry.
Yeah, and we're always talking about the weather, strangely enough.
Hey, similar to us as well. Yeah, hot day, people talk all about it.
How you coping, lads? No, that wouldn't be lad. It'd be how you coping, mate.
Mate.
Yeah. So Perth, is that where you were born and raised?
No, I was born in Chiang Rai, Thailand, so the north of Thailand, and so my dad is Australian and my mum's Thai, and they moved back here to Australia when I was less than a year old. So I was spent my whole life here in Perth, Australia, and unfortunately, still not very good with the Thai language. It's a bit of a open-ended loop. I've always said I got to learn Thai. Started to pick it up for a little bit and then kind of phase out. So just compared to my brother though, he's like pretty fluent in Thai. Because he was born here, they moved back to Thailand. He lived his first 4 years there, so sort of roles were reversed a little bit.
Well, it is a challenging language. It is. It's definitely a challenging. It's the pronunciations of things, and it sounds like it's one long word rather than there's pauses in it, kind of thing.
Yeah, the tonal one's the difficult one. Like, there's like one word that means 5 different things depending how you say it. That's confusing. So you can always be saying you think you know the language, and you might actually be saying a completely different thing.
Well, look, as I say to everyone, look, challenge yourself. If you've identified something, as you've said, look, this is something which I need to close the loop. I've jumped in, I've kind of jumped out. You're a master in your physical capabilities. Be the master in the verbal linguistic side as well. It's challenging.
That's it, man. It's a big thing too. Like after the Superlek knockout, I'm like, all right, brain health. What can I do? I need to upskill, need to create some different neural pathways if I'm going to think longevity wise. And then I started, all right, the Thai language is happening every day. Got this app. And first thing I do, I wake up and I'll spend 10 minutes trying to do this app. And it's actually really good. And I kind of phased out a little bit now, but you've just reminded me, I'm going to jump back on that and continue that.
Yeah, 100%. It's the older we get, and life is challenging enough, especially being a combat athlete, a prized fighter in essence. That in itself is a full-time job. Being married, having children, that's another element into it. Friends and family, that's another element. So it's just finding that balance, and those processes or those schedules which will enable you to enrich elements of your life just that little bit more.
Well said, because I've taken a lot from last year, just with that sort of finding that balance between things, not going too extreme one way, or cutting out things in my life and going too extreme, focusing on focusing on the fight extremely too much when other areas in their life are falling apart and actually causing you like underlying stress and that. Like, you know, you look back at things in hindsight and you're like, shit, probably should have changed that. Probably should have not went too deep on canceling out all my pleasures in life and then thinking too far in the future, and you're kind of missing out, like, you know, the present moment.
Yes.
So big take for 2023 for me to have that realization.
But as you say, it's balance, and we're imperfect beings on this plane of existence, but we are striving, you know, especially the good people, you know, we're striving for perfection in our eyes, you know. So it's that, okay, well, I've definitely got a plan, you know, I've got a plot, I've got to strategize for the future. So I'm definitely looking ahead. Like the analogy I use, Danny, would be when you're driving a vehicle, we've got a big glass plane in front of us, which we're looking directly ahead. And then we've also got your rear view mirror, and we've got the two side mirrors. So we can't just look ahead. Oh, Danny, just look ahead. Don't look backwards. You know, that's the past. Blah. No. We've got to look at the rear view to check the past. We've got to look at the sides as well to see the other angles from the past. And we've got to look ahead forward to successfully travel in a vehicle. So if we apply that logic in life, you know.
Man, well said. That's a great analogy with the driving. Have to look back at the past and everywhere, really.
Definitely. And I think for 2024, with everything that's going on within your life, within your circle, within the world scope, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of things happening, but being present, being in the moment, also thinking about the future, but being present right now. We've really got to grasp onto that idea and not get too caught up in, oh, well, in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to be doing this and blah, blah, blah. You've put those plans in place and you're working towards it. But what about right now? What about enjoying the success of what you're doing right now, or the experience in what you're having right now?
Exactly. Hey. And yeah, from the fight perspective, it's like the training session you're going to upskill, like, yeah, be present in that moment rather than, oh yeah, I got this, yeah, like you said, 2 weeks time, I got this, but just, yeah, be present in that moment. And yeah, that's a skill that I've really been practicing lately. And like I had a session this morning. It's awesome, man. Just kind of like work on little skills, set little goals.
This is
and yeah, it's just kind of what I'm practicing the last couple of months, or 3 months, I should say, after the last match I had in October.
Which, you know, you did your best. We discussed this, you know, very short notice again. You know, against one of the striking savants.
His last match. Ooh.
Oh gosh, yes.
I was telling my partner, I was like, man, if I seen his last 2 matches, I probably would have just thought a little bit longer about that decision to fight him.
I mean, look, even the Ratang, that fight, that was a competitive fight, man. But
yeah,
he did his thing.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
more
it's funny.
he's more well-rounded, whereas the Iron Man, he's just you know, he's just walking you down.
Yeah,
You know, he's that's it. That's the fun. That's the excitement which he brings. Whereas Superlex more, yeah, we can do that of sorts, but I'm gonna evade. I'm gonna throw those high kicks, those, you know.
Can't touch. Yeah, hard to hit. Distance control is amazing, and just the range of like, yep, try hit me, try your best, but you're not gonna do it. But yeah, it was interesting that Takeru, yeah, just got him with a body shot. There was that moment in round 3, but just with the leg kicks, man, like I just think it didn't surprise me, because I've seen a lot of Japanese fighters. They got that Bushido spirit, or that samurai spirit. They will die in there, you know, like that. I've seen it a lot. I think it was Sam Core. I don't know if you heard about him. He's a Muay Thai fighter. He went over to Japan. He's just chopping this guy's leg, and he just 5 rounds just took it. And then he couldn't walk after. Yeah, couldn't walk after for probably a few weeks, but it's just like, no, I'm not going down. You like have to knock him out.
That's something innate. That's something we can't sort of verbalize, I guess. That's
Yeah.
determination. That's ego. That's stubbornness. You not
Yeah.
whatever you do, it's not working.
Yeah. Stubbornness. Yeah. Oh.
It's amazing. It really is amazing. And for clarification, it's only been as of, I guess, 2018 that I've really started to get involved with kickboxing in regards to, watching it, kickboxing and Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Historically, it's been all mixed martial arts.
Yeah. MMA.
This is it. So once I stumbled across one and I thought, oh, this is interesting. I like the setup. I like how, it's filmed and stuff. And I've just seen the progression like to today. It's out of this world. But then, rule sets, kickboxing. Well, what's the difference between kickboxing and Muay Thai? Then I started to learn, okay, so the kickboxing, it's more of the striking style. There's no clinching, no throwing, grappling,
Nah.
etc. So it's going to be more of a fast pace. Whereas with Muay Thai, it can be again very fast paced, but when you do that double underarm and you don't want to strike anymore, and every minute the ref's pulling you back, and then you'll just grab again. That's
different
but
tactics, eh?
yes.
Yeah, different. Yeah, it's a shock with the kickboxing, like the different pace. Me being a Muay Thai fighter my whole life, with the kickboxing rule set, yeah, just the pace and not having that opportunity to just grab on, just like if he's coming forward, just to grab on, or you do a combo and grab on, like it's just that's the thing. If I was to compete in it again, it'll just be working a lot more with because to be fair, man, I thought you were still allowed to grab on a knee once, and it wasn't until like a couple days before they actually changed it, so then you're not allowed to grab on at all. Just keep the high work rate kind of thing. And it's like, oh damn, man! Like this was another kickboxing match I had against a guy, a strawweight guy. That he's the world champion, John DeBella.
DeBella,
And
yes.
He just like game because he's good boxer. Like make sure like if you're inside, grab on, do the knee, use your MMA like wrestling a little bit. That's going to be like what you have advantage of, and then not to have that. It's just like, all right, you need to get used to that sort of just literally punching and kicking and the distance control and that high work rate.
Which is good. Visually, it's good, but at the same time, I don't know, maybe this is me just talking out of line of sorts, but I know obviously depending on what the promotion is, you can hold that leg for what is it, 2 to 3 seconds, or you hold the leg and you can strike.
You have to strike. So if you hold the leg, you have exactly what you said. A few seconds, but you have to do a strike.
Maybe just like with the mixed rules kind of thing, one round this one, maybe they could like introduce a little. Okay, well, it's going to be kickboxing, but we're going to allow a little bit of clinch work in here, just to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, I think the story goes. I'm not sure how factual this is, but the K1 days when Borkow was, the big name.
Yes.
In Japan back early 2000s for the 70 kilo tournaments. He was obviously dominating in the clinch, and I'm pretty sure they took it away after he just dominated 1 year. And then they're like, all right, you only can clinch, you only can hold, you only can knee once, and you can only grab on with one hand.
So no
pretty
plum
sure
time.
that's they changed that there, and then obviously it's evolved to now it's just kind of like you can't grab on at all.
Fun. So what homed you in on Muay Thai? What was the thirst and the urge to say, I'm going to get in there and use all 8 limbs?
Well, my mum being Thai and me being born there, I've always known about Muay Thai. I can't really remember not knowing about it. And that's partly because my uncle, he was a Muay Thai champion. He was in the northern province of Thailand. He had like 100 fights or something like that. And he's a bit of the black sheep of the family. So we always heard stories about him growing up, and I was always scared of him when we went on family holidays. Like I have this early memory of I wouldn't have a shower because they had at my grandparents' house there in the village is like the bucket pours of cold water
Okay.
just to have a
Yes.
shower. And I come from a privileged
Indeed.
thing in
Western world.
yeah. I didn't know what it was, just a shock, and I cried and cried for one of the nights, and he ran upstairs, grabbed a knife. He's like, "You go have a shower," and I remember I was like sucked up to him after that, and always respected him. Thought he was cool, strong guy, and always knew about his Muay Thai. And then I went to like a village festival when I was about 6 years old, and I was going to see my first Muay Thai show, and I was so excited that day. I remember that, one of my earliest memories, and I put like these boxer shorts that I got like that was cool as we were buying a pair of boxer shorts in Thailand, my first pair, and I put that underneath. I put that on and I put my shorts over because I had this like fantasy of like, oh, I wonder if I can jump in there and I can be the hero kind of thing and get a fight. So always been in love with martial arts, and obviously with that hero sort of symbol, like just because I was a big all the martial arts films, like the Bruce Lee, the John Van Damme's, all their films growing up, just big fan.
What about Steven Seagal?
Oh, I can't remember watching some of his films, but interesting guy, eh?
Definitely, especially of late.
Yes. Yeah, he's the master.
Indeed. Sensei, as I think he calls himself, right?
Sensei. Yeah, taught everyone.
Oh, that kick, the spider, you know what?
Yeah. Anderson Silva, he was a legend.
Indeed. He is. I mean, even though obviously the leg break and obviously the performance enhancing stuff, etc. Look, he was at the pinnacle, at the apex for a very long time. Unfortunately, he should have, but this is what fighters do. They don't know when to give up.
They don't, man. I had a bit of a scare in my last lot. I was just like, it's funny because like it's almost like I didn't want to identify, crazy as this sounds, I didn't want to identify as a fighter because I was like, I do many things. Like, after fighting, I'm going to be sweet. I'm going to know when to retire, and then I'm going to move on to the next thing and family and stuff like that. And then after the last loss, I was like, man, if this gets taken away from me, what am I going to do? No, I want to keep fighting. Like, and I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Why people just hang on? Yeah. It's hard. It'll be a hard one to know. Like, when you feel, I think when you mentally feel like you should retire, I think
you'll know the point. I mean, trustfully, I mean, you're smart enough, but at the same time, so are all the other, combat athletes, that they're smart enough, but here and in here, I can't compete anymore. My body, or look, this guy just wrecked me 2 years ago. I would have done this guy in a round.
Yeah. You're true. Sometimes people get dangled the cherry with the money and the big fights, and they're just like,
But here's the big juicy but, Danny. Here is the big juicy but. Yeah, the money, the fame, and I'm also the fame, the recognition. You can go to your favorite bar. Oh, look, it's the champ, or it's the it's the guy.
Yeah.
And you've been doing it. For most people, especially the newer generation, they grew up doing mixed martial arts. They grew up doing kickboxing and Muay Thai, and they've gone on to be, a champion regionally, maybe a world champion, and gone on to, a larger promotion and really made a name for themselves. But that's all they've known. They haven't necessarily, they've got interest. Like, I might have a deck, put the old headphones on and do a little bit of DJing and stuff, but that's a hobby. It's what fighters, and this applies to everybody. Everything in life isn't guaranteed. The only thing that's guaranteed in life is change. Unfortunately, it's guaranteed. So you have to look at, okay, I enjoy dogs. I've got an interest in dogs. Okay. How could I parlay that as a quote unquote side hustle whilst I'm doing my dream, because this dream, I could wake up at any point due to my waking up or due to something happening externally where I have to wake up. So when that happens,
Yeah.
as you say, you're like, oh, sugar, like, what do I do now? Do I coach? Do I do the standard thing and become a coach and do some training, do some
Yeah.
cinemas and all that kind of stuff? Or can I
Yeah.
parlay my name, my experience, my passion for something else into an additional revenue stream?
Yeah. That's true. That's good. Yeah, well said.
And the more and more we can have, you can have that internal conversation and then have management or friends say to you, hey, Danny, look, you're an excellent gardener, mate. Set up mini teas gardening and let's do this thing. You can do your stuff, and in 5 years, if you call it a day, then you can sit on the crown of your empire, of your little empire in Perth, with your 12 vans going around, with all the guys doing the gardening and landscaping and all that. And that's you, that is. That's you.
Yeah.
That's your name, that's your time, your financial investment to help other people in that ecosystem create an empire for yourself.
That's it, the ecosystem. It's funny you mentioned gardening. I've been stuck right into that lately. Like, I've never really been a gardener, but it's just funny. You got a bag of soil, got a little garden bed sorted, and then I had a friend that they're called Verdi Farms,
Yes,
and
I know.
I got given one, so that was like, I'll just try this out, and then I started growing something called microgreens, broccoli microgreen, and it worked really well, like real low maintenance. I'm like, damn, and that encouraged me to do the old garden bed outside, and
There's
just
nothing
as
better.
age goes on, I guess hit
Yes.
30 last year, so it's just interesting. Like, I guess creating that ecosystem at home. It's been really, really interesting.
Age and wisdom, as you say, you're reaching 30, as they say, Jesus, aka Yeshua, he was 33 when he left this plane of existence. This is the maturing
Yeah.
level. This is the wisdom age. And also 2024 is a revealing time, a time of reflection, etc. So most
Right.
definitely. And as you say, once you do it, oh, I've been given this, I'm not really into gardening, and you do it and you see from seed to plant and you're thinking,
Yeah.
wow, you see nature just do what it does
Yeah.
in a in a
Exactly.
in a very like 1 week there was nothing, then there was a little green shoot. 3 weeks later, I can actually identify what that seed is. I can see it becoming from a young sapling into something, a broccoli, a pepper, or an orange,
Yeah.
a tomato. It's connecting back to nature, doing
That's
something.
it. Hey. That is, yeah. I just forgot what I was going to say to add on to that. But anyway, the I can see where your name comes from, Noble, as well. You got a lot of wisdom, man. And what's that? It was a quote I was thinking of. I don't know who said it, but something like, he's like,